Hey y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Angel, aka the Angelic Muse. I'm an intuitive tarot reader as well as a certified Reiki practitioner. And as you can see from the title of this video, I am here back with another pick a card for you guys. So this one is just strictly focusing on why this is happening, why whatever current situation or whatever it is that you're asking about is happening. Whether it's to you or for you is based on your perspective. However, I do just want to say, hopefully it is the latter, and we are looking at things from a more optimistic or not necessarily a pessimistic point of view. But I do wish you well in whatever it is that you're dealing with and that you're asking about. However, I do want to get into these piles here. As you can see, we have 3 for you guys to choose from. So with your first pile, we have Apophyllite crystal. For your second pile, we have the Amethyst crystal. And then for your third pile, we have Citrine crystal. So, as always, all of the timestamps will be down below, as well as all of the decks that I am using. And all of my links will be down below as well. If you'd like to connect with me outside of YouTube or book a personal session with me, you can do that down below. Or just go to my website, www.theangelicmuse.com, and you will find me there. So I thank you all so much for being here. And without further ado, let's get into your reading. Hey, Pile 1, welcome to your reading. So if you chose this Apophyllite crystal here, this is your reading. So I'm going to start out with your tarot as always, and then I'll get into your oracle in a second. So your first card, you have Judgment in reverse. Second card is the Knight of Swords. Third card is the Two of Cups. Fourth card is the High Priestess in reverse. And then your last card is the Six of Cups. Okay, so interestingly enough, both of your major arcana are in reverse. So it seems, and it's interesting because both of your cups have two, like it's a man and a woman or a boy and a girl. So, I mean, this could be pertaining to a relationship, but it also could be in regards to just balancing out like your masculine and feminine energy, the masculine and feminine energy within you. However, I'm just going to scale over here for a minute with this High Priestess in reverse. I know, whatever. So I'm going to scale over here for a minute because typically with the High Priestess in reverse, it would mean like a blocked intuition or just like uncertainty of something. But I'm just getting the thought or the feeling of someone overthinking, thinking too much about something and not really taking into account their feelings of the matter, like the way that it's more so like it's giving me like not good enough. I don't know why. I'm going to get into that in a minute, but even with this Knight of Swords facing the Judgment in reverse here, it's another overthinking feeling that I'm getting. So the Judgment card being in reverse here, it's almost like you're in denial, or you're like going back to the past a lot, rethinking the past, what could have, should have, would have happened if you did X, Y, and Z, or if whatever the circumstances were changed in whatever way, that it would be better for you. But Knight of Swords is very like hasty. The thoughts are quick. So you don't really have time to, again, factor in the feelings or how you actually feel about it, because you're too invested in all the other parts of it that don't really matter in the end. Not that they don't matter, but again, it's an overthought. So it's being considered a bit too much in whatever this situation is. I feel like what's happening here is, and even six of cups here is going back to childhood. It's going back to the past, but it's also about being able to share your gifts and in a sense of emotional fulfillment. This Six of Cups comes after the Five of Cups, and it's about appreciating what it is that you have in the moment, in the current moment, um, and being able to, elevate. And so what I'm seeing here is that more consideration should be taken. Why this is happening to you is because you have a way of, I don't want to say beating yourself up. It's happening to you so that you don't, so that you actually can become more appreciative of the present moment, because we can't go back to the past and we can't go forward into the future. All we have is right now. And this Two of Cups being in the middle here, this is really the right now moment for me. So whether this is about a relationship or like something that has happened in the past in the relationship, or whether it's something that you're dreading that'll happen in the future. But I'm not getting that, because the Judgment in reverse here, that's about like past type energy. It's something coming back up and you kind of thinking like the worst on it. It's about trusting in God, trusting that everything that happens for a reason, and knowing that regardless of any of this, your inner child, the little you, will benefit more from you not necessarily trying to think your way out of the past, but to, again, appreciate the right now. um it's interesting because even with the High Priestess here, I love the High Priestess, and I love how she sits in between the two, the Boaz, and I can't remember, is it Yakin or I don't remember how, but it's the temple, it's King Solomon's temple. And if you are interested in the Bible, or if you actually have read it at any point, there is the book of Ecclesiastes talks about how everything in life is meaningless without God in the center of it. Like, you can have all the riches, you can have all the cars, you can have all the wives, you can have all the, like, King Solomon was like, he was going he, like, basically, like, because he had everything. Like, he had everything you could possibly ask for, but found it meaningless without God in the center of it. And I think that, not to turn this into anything, but I do believe that the cards definitely speak volumes. So that was worth mentioning there. The fact that it's in reverse, it's almost like you're losing sight and you're too wrapped up in the earthly things, and not so much so, and that's what's causing you to be so in your head about it, because we're so grounded in reality and what's in front of us that we can't actually look at the bigger picture and see that this is a spiritual thing going on. This is bigger than us. And so it's like, in this, the and the, not, because even for me personally, like, we have to think in our tiny minds, there's so much more to life than just what we're going through. There's so much more to life than, like, even with what we're going through, there's so many details that are not factored in when we're so in our heads about it. And I think that this is happening to you so that you kind of let go of some of the thoughts that you're having, and you're able to actually embrace the moment, the present moment. um you know, and like I said, with this Knight of Swords here, like the hastiness, the way you go back to the past is almost like, it's like clockwork almost. Like you're kind of wired to think like, oh no, why did this happen? Or oh no, um, I can't believe I'm thinking about this again almost. But you're so used to it that it's become second nature to you in a sense. But I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence anyway, but I don't think it's a coincidence here that the Six of Cups come out last, because it's almost like you're allowing, as a child, we kind of have to wait for things to come to us. We're not really equipped to get it on our own unless we grow up really fast, which is unfortunate in some circumstances, because children should be able to be children. However, I think that what this card is saying is that you have to kind of allow some things to happen for you. The boy is giving the girl flowers here. She's just being receptive to it. So I think in this sense, it's like the nature is known. Feminine is receptive, masculine is giving. And then in knowing that, we can kind of balance out that inner yin and yang within us, and take that into our relationships with the Two of Cups. This Two of Cups is in the center. And again, I think this is supposed to be keeping you like in the present moment. The Two of Cups is saying stay present. Don't think back to where you were, because it's essentially just going to block you even further, and you will not be able to make the inner you proud. I don't know why that came to me, but that's just what it is. You wouldn't be able to fulfill your inner child's not desires and needs if you're to keep harping on the past for you. I hope this is making sense, because I know it's like a lot, but I just pray it's making sense for you guys. Because this one is this is a lot. Um, I feel like the masculine, or like the go-getter side of you, is stifled in a bit, with the Knight of Swords facing the Judgment, and then the feminine side of you with the High Priestess is also. So it's like you're almost stuck in this rut here. But I do believe it's happening to you so that you can kind of master the art of staying present on your own. It's a matter of shift perspective, but it's also a matter of taking action on it too. Not being so much in your mind. You got to get going with it too. You can't just sit on these thoughts and these feelings that come up. You have to actually take the initiative to either transmute them and create something good from them, or you could do the latter and just, free will is what it is. So, but I think that what's happening is it's supposed to be a propeller as opposed to like a hindrance for you. It's not necessarily happening to you, it's happening for you to elevate and to be able to grow and honor yourself in all stages of life, as a child and as an adult. Let me get into your oracle readings here. So for your first oracle, you have look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. You have dances on one foot, balancing act, and this is represented by the number 9. You have stop ruminating over what you did or didn't do. Let it go. That is judgment card right there. Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Here's the high priestess. This is crazy. Hold on, let me move these over because this is, it's crazy how they come out like that. You have forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And then you have, I pulled a scripture for everybody. So, oh shoot. If I didn't get to this part in the Bible, you're going to have to excuse me a bit. Because I don't know, I haven't gotten to the New Testament. So if any New Testament comes out, I don't know it. I just know Old Testament stuff. But this is Psalm 31. I do suggest reading the entire Psalm, not just this little part. Because this is Psalm 31:24. It says, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. Okay. So, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Like I was saying, with that, first of all, Sagittarius is all about, like, it's ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of, like, expansion and, like, just kind of having fun and discovery. And I think that with this look at the bigger picture card, it's again saying, like, when things happen, there's so many things we don't factor in at the time of them happening, that we kind of lose sight of the bigger picture. We don't really, we over, and it causes us to again be in our thoughts. And I think that's what's happening to you, so much to the point where you don't really notice your, like, what all is happening around you, because your emotions and your thoughts is just taking over. I'm going to read that one out the book though. That is full moon in Sagittarius, and that one is on page 84, and it reads, are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Exactly. Fretting over minute. What? Fretting over minute. MINUTIAE. What is that? Can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you see then about your what do you then see about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now's the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. And the teaching here says, the full moon in Sagittarius is a time when we are reminded that life is an adventure and there's a big wide world to see beyond our backyard. It's all about having fun and being prepared to sail into uncharted territory. It's about big ideas versus the details. No matter when you draw this card, it encourages you to look at the bigger picture. Not only that, it's a full moon in Sagittarius coming up. I don't know exactly when, but I probably should, because my birthday is this month. But oh no, I think it's the 13th. I might be wrong though, but I know it's right because my birthday is on the 20th, and it's like the 7th, the 13th, and the 20th. I think it might be the 13th. I could be so wrong about that though. I don't know. Anyway, if I'm wrong, it might be the new moon or something. Oh no, I don't know. Man, don't get me the line. I know something is on the 13th, whether it's Mercury retrograde or something. I gotta look at my calendar. But either way, with that coming up, that may be a pivotal moment for you regarding this situation. But again, it's telling you to look at the bigger picture, and not only that, but the Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter is about luck. And with luck, you don't really, or good fortune, you don't really think about it. It kind of just comes to you. And with this high priestess in reverse, and then your Knight of Swords facing the judgment, like I said, I think there's a lot of overthinking going on, and not enough factoring in the present your emotions in the present moment. Like, the blessing of it, it's kind of hard to see that when you're so stuck on the negative or the uncomfortable parts of it. Then with this dances on one foot balancing act, this one's represented by the number 9, which is the Hermit in tarot. That's all about introspection and going within, and kind of sorting things through in the dark with very little light. However, there's still light. All you need is literally, when it comes to faith, you literally just need a mustard seed. You know how tiny a mustard seed is? So as long as you were to keep that faith that everything's going to be okay and it's going to work out for you, then it will. You know, you just got to kind of keep a positive mindset and way of thinking going in order to see this thing through. And dancing on one foot, it says it's a balancing act. I'm going to read that one as well. But dancing on one foot, I'm just thinking about dancing in general and how you have to have some sort of coordination in order to do it. You have to memorize the steps, so that way you're able to like do it with your eyes closed, and like you can kind of like, if you say you're on a dance team and you have to learn a routine, you're going to practice it and practice it and practice it until you get it right enough to do it on stage in front of an audience or whatever the case may be. But by that point, you won't need the teaching. So whether this is something that has happened more than one time, or it's like some sort of cycle with that judgment in reverse, this could be something that, like I said, judgment is about, well, I didn't say that, but judgment is about like things coming back up and to the surface that from your past. But it seems like there's some sort of avoidance here. However, the key is to not avoid it, but to actually get through it in order to, master that thing. So again, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you so that you can gain momentum, gain expertise, gain knowledge, wisdom when it comes to this thing. I'm going to read that one out of the book and well, off my phone really, but it says, dances on one foot, balancing act, resourcefulness, and saying yes to life. When dances on one foot shows up, you are called to find a new balance. Just as a dancer moves gracefully into each pose, no matter how precariously balanced the step might seem, you must bring equanimity to the situation before you, no matter how thorny or difficult a relationship seems. If you are putting too much effort into managing your life, work, relationship, family, and digital media, you are missing the point. You have to be dancing while juggling your entire life, knowing that at any one time, half of it is going to be up in the air. It's not that you are doing too much and find it impossible to catch up. Rather, it's that you are confusing readiness with preparation. You will never ever be fully prepared for all the challenges in life, but you can be ready to say yes to a new invitation the universe offers you. Live in a state of yes to spirit and no to everything not infused with life, romance, vitality, and the sacred. You will be surprised by how quickly your load lightens when you hold true to this lesson. You are challenged now to work with the resources available or resources available to you and not be seduced by the belief, if only I had more. Life has provided you with everything you need to accomplish your goals and fulfill your mission. When it feels like you're losing balance, do not contract, holding your arms close to your chest, for you will fall. Instead, reach out and extend them fully, saying yes to Spirit's steady hand. So, yes, going back to what I was saying, it's not about overthinking the process of whatever this is that you're asking about. It's about just kind of going for it, knowing that you have such like God is with you at all times. Like there's at no point in time does God leave you, even when you're not necessarily communicating with him. But depending, I mean, if you read tarot, I hope you had some type of connection to some higher source, because who else are you talking to, or are you getting your information from? But what I'm saying is that I think that there's, again, too much overthinking and not enough doing, not enough just kind of embracing the moment, the present moment. You're just wondering why the past had to be the way it was, or how your future is going to be impacted by this thing. And even with this, stop ruminating over what you did or didn't do, let it go. This card is like a whole jumbly mess right here. And that's kind of what goes on in your mind. It's like scatterbrain. And you, with the Knight of Swords facing that, you could be thinking about endless amounts of things when it comes to that Judgment card. This or that or that or this. Like, it's kind of like a bouncing off the wall type energy that I was feeling when I was looking at it. It's like you just don't know where to start in terms of how you may have messed up. And then with the two lessons here, indecision and forgiveness, I use my intuition in all aspects of life, but the high priestess is in reverse here. I think that there you have to be able to separate ego from intuition with this situation. And ego, I'm not saying it in a way where you think you're haughty or a bit holier than thou. It's more so a diminishing type feeling that your ego seems to be giving off towards you, or in terms of you, and like you beat down on yourself about the situation, as opposed to knowing, like, no, like, the opportunity wouldn't be there for you, or the great things that you have to look forward to wouldn't be there for you if you weren't deserving of it. You have to learn how to forgive yourself, forgive others, who, whatever the case may be. Like, I can't really pinpoint exactly what this situation could be about. It could be about a relationship, but it could be about just an internal battle between you and yourself. Like, your giving side, your giving nature, and your receiving nature. It could be about your action, and then your you taking action, and then you just sitting back and waiting for something. It could be anything really, but regardless of what it is, I think that the key point here is to be able to separate what your ego is and what your intuition is. Ego is anything of material. Ego is anything of, like, that kind of harps on the the way you feel about something. Intuition, yes, your feeling does, there are feelings that come into play there, but it's more so, um it's on more of a spiritual level there. Like, you're gonna know it. Even if you don't feel like something is right for you, sometimes your intuition will say, no, go for it anyway. And you can go for it and still be okay. And I think that this is what this is saying to you. And then even with your scripture here, Psalms 31, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. The Psalms in themselves are like prayers. There are different authors in them. So I'm not really sure who wrote Psalm 31. But to be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. I think this is about, like, again, looking at the bigger picture and knowing that this is bigger than you, and anything, like, even if you took this one situation out of it, not even took it out of it, but you just got to look at things from a grander scale, and trust that as long as you have the ability and the courage to face that thing, God will take care of the rest. You don't have to, like, I know Daniel wrote, I mean, not Daniel, David, King David wrote some of the Psalms. And I know that throughout his whole situation, there were plenty of times where he had to sit back. He had to check himself a few times, and he had to sit back and just trust that God, like, even when he fought that giant, he had no armor on, and all the soldiers and the armies and things that couldn't defeat that giant, they did. But he said, no, that's too heavy. That he was told, no, not to wear armor. That's too heavy. You don't need it. Where I'm taking you, you don't need that armor. You just need me. So all of the things that you feel like you need to, and I almost want to cry, because now I'm thinking about this from a perspective. I don't know what it is that you're asking about, but I know how, like, vulnerable it could be, or it can make you feel, to be up against something that you really have no idea what the outcome of it's going to be. I mean, we face that every day in life, some people on a grander scale than others. But if you feel like reading that Psalm 31, or if you even feel like looking into the book of, I mean, not the book, the story of King David, I think that you may find that helpful in some sense. If not, then that's okay. But whatever it is that you're asking about, if you can, I know it's hard because the mind will take you places you don't even want it to at times. And so you almost feel lost and hopeless, like you can't get out of your thoughts or you can't escape it. But, you know, God won't put more on you than you can bear. And hindsight is 2020. I will say that. So ruminating or overthinking what could have, should have, or would have done, it sounds good in theory, but when you look at it, it's like, yeah, of course I know that now. I've been through it. I learned the lesson, and I see exactly what could have been done better. So what's the point in beating yourself up about something you didn't know at the time? This isn't a time to do that. It's a time to stay present and a time to just embrace the fact that you are here and now, and there's nothing wrong with you. You're not stupid. Your inner child, or the child in you, is not, if anything, the fact that you are here now, your inner child should be very proud of you. You should be very proud of yourself. Um, but I don't know. I definitely do think that this is worth um, considering. However, I'm sorry, guys. I just got caught up because I don't know. It just seemed like a lot towards the end of the reading, but I am truly praying you find some sort of relief or healing from this. And I hope it resonates with you to some degree. If it does, if you feel called, please let me know down in the comments, or you can just simply like, or give me a subscribe if you like where this reading took you, or if you'd like to see more. There will be plenty more where this came from. If you'd like to book a personal session with me, you can do so at www.theangelicmuse.com. And yeah, I thank you all so much for being here with me, and I pray you enjoy the rest of your day or your night. Hey, Pile 2. So if you chose this amethyst crystal, here is your reading. So I'm going to start out with your tarot and then pull your oracle in a minute. Y'all, Pile 1 had me almost about to cry at the end. I was like, what in the world is going on here? So I needed a moment to get that together. I don't know what happened there. I was cool up until like the last couple minutes, and I'm like, damn, I don't know how the emotions started flooding a lot. So anyway, we're on Pile 2. So for your first card, you have the Tower. Y'all better not make me cry in this reading, I'll tell you that. Or almost cry, because I don't know what happened. Then you have the Four of Wands. Second card. Knight of Wands for your third card. Six of Swords for your fourth card. Uh-oh. And then King of Cups for your last card. All right, so your major arcana is the Tower. So this is something unexpected, something that it's like a starting over. You know, you think of the Tower, you think of it crashing down, like whatever foundation or whatever structure, whatever you're asking about was built on is kind of gone. However, it doesn't seem to be a bad thing. Though it may feel like a shocker, though it may feel overwhelming, it may feel intense, it doesn't seem like the outcome of it is going to be uncomfortable for you. Because the Four of Wands comes right after it. And the Four of Wands is all about stability, and it's all about foundation, and it's all about trusting in this new thing and building something that is fulfilling. It's celebratory almost. It's something worth fighting for, because the Five of Wands comes right after, where you kind of look to defend it, and then the Six, where you actually become victorious in that thing. However, sticking with the Four of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands right next to it, which tells me that just as fast as this tower has come in and struck whatever you were dealing with, or it struck it down, or caused you to have to start over in some sense, you're coming in even faster with a solution. There's a solution that's coming to you, or you're either coming with that solution to rebuild and remodel, and there's almost like a recourse that's happening within your life. It's like this tower fell down, but you have these in back of you, and then you still have something worth building upon, is what I'm saying. So it seems as though this is happening because obviously it was supposed to, and it wouldn't have been of service to you emotionally or mentally. Like it wasn't something that necessarily was necessary for where it is that you're going in life. You have the Six of Swords going towards the King of Cups. So I mean, for some of you, this could have been like a breakup, but there seems to be someone who is going to be coming in, if they haven't already, that is more fulfilling for you. Whether this is a breakup in a relationship, a breakup with a job, a breakup with a business partner, whatever the case may be, it feels like there is, because of how quick you are on your feet, because of how determined you are to get this thing done, you're going to be met with an equal to you. And they're going to, it'll match in a way that serves you emotionally. The tower here in this picture is interesting because two people are falling out, as with the Rider-Waite version as well. There's two people falling out. So again, like I said, this could have been some sort of partnership, relationship, whatever. But with what is coming in for you, it will be stable, not only for you, but for who, if you have children involved at all, it'll be a lot more calm. There's a calming nature with the Six of Swords and the King of Cups. Someone that, or something that you don't have to second guess. Something or someone something that flows, and it doesn't really catch you off guard, and you won't necessarily have that tower moment happen there, given these new circumstances. The King of Cups, in his own right, he knows how to balance his emotions. He knows how to fare well with his emotions. He doesn't really allow things to bother him or set him off course emotionally. The decisions that he makes are not rash either. I think with this Knight of Wands here, again going towards the Four of Wands, that does signify you as a person, and you rebuilding, and you taking on the masculine or more yang energy within you in order to create this new thing. But I think that with you doing that, it'll not necessarily create a new you, but you'll come out of it thinking a different way about yourself, even thinking a different way about the situation as well. You'll understand and be able to appreciate what it was that happened, and you'll better understand it. I do think it's interesting that the Six of Swords and the Knight of Wands aren't really facing each other either. Like the Knight of Wands is going this way to kind of tackle that situation, or to handle it, or to focus on the rebuilding and the restructuring. But then once it's almost like the storm is over. That song, "The Storm is Over Now," is coming to me. I don't know who sings that. The storm is over now. Look that up. Is it like Kurt in the Thing? I don't know. It's a gospel song, but if you like that type of music, but that's my song. That's one of my songs. I got a lot of songs, but that's one of my songs. Um, it's I feel like I can make it. The storm is over now. Yes, no more cloudy days. I can't sing, but look that song up. It's a slower gospel song. It ain't like one of them loud joints, but it's nice. Anyway, yeah, I definitely don't laugh at my singing either, because I can't sing like that. Okay, so no, it's okay. So we're blessed in other ways. So anyway, going back to your reading, I do feel like this is going to spark like a sense of creativity within you. Well, as like this with this fish jumping out of the water, I think it's going to spark some type of creativity, because it's all coming out of nowhere. And it's like the tower moment happens, and then you kind of have this newfound sense of courage and determination to rebuild and fix and restructure in a way that is um, more molded to you. Like this tower here may have been like, it's all right, it'll do. It's like, no, we have something way better for you. And once you go ahead and find that newfound sense of like determination, and you take on that challenge, you'll be able to coast into clearer, calmer waters, and you'll be able to sit and breathe easy and be like, oh, I'm unfazed, I'm unbothered. It didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. Like, or maybe if right now you're like, dang, like what's going on? Like, why is this? It's happening for you. Happening for you for sure. It's definitely happening for you for sure. It's interesting because, like I was saying, it goes from the fire to the air to the water. You have so much masculine energy here, but then you end in your feminine nature. Even though it's a king, he's definitely masculine, but he has the ability to channel that and like kind of put a, how do I word it? Like he's at ease emotionally, he don't really get in his emotions about shit that is beneath him, if that makes sense. So let me get into your oracle cards now. So see, oh, you got full moon in Cancer, water. A personal issue reaches resolution. See, a personal issue reaches resolution. Then you have Moon Maiden, new beginnings. You have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. That's giving me Four of Wands energy. Fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And then you have growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. And then I pulled a scripture for y'all. So you got Romans 8. I haven't gotten here. This is New Testament. I didn't get here. I think that's New Testament. I haven't gotten here. But it says, likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. So, so let's go over here. I'm going to read the Moonology Oracle out of the book. That is the full moon in Cancer. And that's on page 74. And it reads, Things are likely to get very heated as full moon in Cancer is a super emotional sign. So there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now or surrounding your question. It's important to be sensitive to other people when you pull this card. There's some very fine sensibilities around, so tread carefully as you move towards your goals or dreams. This card indicates an especially feminine time. It also heralds the time to deal with any family issues coming up. Nothing to worry about. It signals a challenge is now coming to an end. This card also suggests both that a domestic matter or a private issue will soon come to a head and that it's a great time to move house. The answer to your question lies in being a kind leader. This is the time for you to step up and agree to overcome your insecurities. And the teaching here says the heightened emotions of the Moon Cancer combination can't be ignored. However, Cancer is one of the Moon's two home signs, along with Taurus. So, astrologically speaking, the Moon loves to be in the sign. In fact, she rules Cancer. This means that with this card, there's a sense that all is as it should be, or don't worry, all will be well soon. So yeah, that's going back to what I'm saying. It seems like a lot of fast energy going here to repair and rebuild the tower or the moment, whatever it is that has happened here in a way that is better suited to you. There's really nothing to worry about here with this Six of Swords and the King of Cups, which is the mastering of your emotions. This isn't a time to really factor that in, but I don't think you are with that Knight of Wands here. Knight of Wands is just going for it. It's very erratic, almost like I'm just going for this shit. I ain't about to think about it. I know it's something that needs to be done. I'm going to do it. And at times that can be a bit too hasty, but in this particular situation, I think that you're going about it in a way that is it's action for sure, but it's experienced action. It's sure action. It's not really like blindly done here. It's like, okay, I know what I have to do, so let me just do it. Like I'm not even about to say I can't do it or put that in my mind. And I don't think you are. If you are, then come on, because this card says you have the power to create the life you love and to remember that. And that is true. We have more. We don't have control over everything, but the things we do have control of, we have full control over. Like, and I know that sounds weird because, like, I'm not really being specific, but like, as far as anything, the autonomy within your own body and the moves that you have the ability to make, that's all you. We have free will, so don't discredit yourself or discount or be like, oh man, I gotta sit here and like this happened, so let me just sit back and let life happen to me. No, life is happening for you, and you are very much a part of it. Even with you have fear and growth right next to each other. So I think this is a testament of you like just outgrowing your fears, outgrowing the I can't do it, outgrowing the this is so much bigger than me, but it's not. It's that's just a perspective that you have in your mind. And I'm going to look into what Romans 8 is about because I haven't really read it. Romans 8. It says Romans 8 is hold on, let me see. The main message is Paul begins and ends the passage with statements about the absolute security of those who are in Christ. There's no condemnation at all for those in Christ. Last, nothing will ever be able to separate us from God's love. Okay, so the focus is beyond what you can see, seizing the moment that will never come your way again, acting on your new priorities, walking in spirit so your wants don't overwhelm you, and making sure your priorities can survive and help thrive in the face of suffering. So yeah, this is all about like taking the situation by the horns and like almost obliterating, like literally like you throwing it to the back in your mind and saying like, listen, that shit don't matter. What matters is the fact that like I know something happened. I know I need to fix it. And I know I have the will and the power and the drive and determination to fix it. I know that this opportunity was not put in front of me for me to just sit here and sulk in it. It's for me to actually take action and use my God-given talents and abilities to be able to do it. So I think that's exactly what you're saying to yourself. For we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. I think this is about being careful with your words as well. I think this is about being careful with your words and what you tell yourself, the words in which you speak over yourself and over your life. Especially with this, like, okay, so with the Moon Maiden card, I'm also going to read that one out the book, but with it saying new beginnings, I think this is just like a fresh start for you and just your overall outlook on the way you view yourself and view your life and the potential of it. This is an emotional, like it said, it said this is an emotional card or emotional time with that full moon in Cancer, and you have the King of Cups energy that ends off the tarot reading energy, at least. And this is about like going into it with a newfound sense of freedom. Whether you're a man or a woman really doesn't matter when it comes to your drive and determination and your masculine energy. That's all it's all masculine, it's all yang. So this is about not only being receptive and having your feelings about that, but also knowing yourself in terms of, like I said, what you can do. So Moon Maiden, New Beginnings, Curiosity. It says, the Moon Maiden arrives to offer you a new beginning, a new face and facet of yourself that is aching to be shown to the world. Those qualities that you have been quietly cultivating are ready for the limelight. The secrecy was important, for it protected your new face and kept what was precious close to your heart. But now it is time to come forward in full splendor. Announce the new you to yourself first. Reveal it slowly to the world like the waxing moon. Allow others to be surprised by how mature and grown up this side of you is. Now it's time to set yourself free. The Moon Maiden belongs only to herself, and she is summoning the parts of you that challenge convention, that refuse to be intimidated, and that cannot be tamed or put inside a golden cage. The Moon Maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have radiant curiosity, and to ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma, why do you believe this is so? Question everything others assume is a given, and do not collude with the drama around you. Become an unpredictable being, yet an eminently reliable friend. The Moon Maiden invites you to answer only to yourself and reminds you that you are not anyone's property. Be true to your soul's calling, even as some around you, in a relationship or a job, want to capture your light inside a bottle. You know how to rise to the occasion, just as unfailingly as the moon does. When the time comes, you return to darkness and become enshrouded in mystery until you are ready to return. So yeah, so okay, so that would explain it. So it's like you almost, that's crazy. So remember how I was saying it's like real fiery over here and then it gets calm? It's like you got two sides to you. You have like that action side, like you probably on a regular, you're just like a real chill person. So when stuff like this happens to you, you kind of turn into like this fiery, like, all right, I'm about to go get it. I'm going for it. Like, this is just who I am. And if you're not, that's what this is saying to you. This is happening for you so that you can go dig inside yourself, pull out that fiery action, that drive, that person in you that God called you to be. And you could go ahead and chill later on once this is fixed, but there is a power that lies within you that you may or may not be aware of. So you have more what's the word I'm looking for? You have more like potential than you may realize to fix this thing. And even going back to this, you have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. So some of you are forgetting. There's some of you, I feel like you know you have it, but you're like, can I do this? Yes, you can do this just like you did all those other things. Like, so it's all about outgrowing your fears. You know, when we get to a certain point in life, God's going to call us to speak life into ourselves at times when we don't have anyone else to rely on, or maybe we do, but we just don't believe it when it comes from other people. We won't believe it. You have to believe it for yourself before anyone else can tell it to you. So whether you do or don't at this time of this reading while I'm speaking to you, more so if you don't, I'm telling you that you do. These cards here are not lying to me or you. And again, going back to Romans 8, I want to say that has something to do with, because it says, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. It's almost like you don't know the right words to say, or you're like, where do I start? You start right where your heart tells you to start. You start right, you pray about it, see what comes to you, and you go for that. Trusting your intuition is a given here. Trusting in the way that your intuition tells you to go is a must in this situation, because the tower is no longer there for you to go to it. It fell. So there's a rebuilding that needs to happen, whether that starts externally or internally first. But, and when I say externally, I'm saying whether you just go forward and just put all your insecurities aside and just go for it, or if you tackle your insecurities first and then you move forward. However, there is, I'm not going to say there's like a time limit or anything like that, but there are certain opportunities that may have to end up coming back around if you don't get to them now. So therefore, it's best with this Knight of Wands energy to just say, fuck it. I need to rebuild. I cannot allow my emotions, I cannot allow my doubts, my fears, or what somebody told me a long time ago to affect me now. And I understand that can be difficult as well, because words do stick. But what's more important is the words that we say to ourselves. And even if you have to start out with like affirmations, or if you have to start out with subliminals in your sleep on YouTube, I do that often. Like I'll listen to subliminals, or I'll listen to just affirmations on my way to sleep with a nice voice, not one that's gonna creep me out if I wake up at 2 a.m. to use the bathroom and I hear their voice talking or something like that. But yeah, because I have had that happen to me before. I was like, who the hell is talking? But yeah, I'm just saying, start somewhere, even if it's small baby steps when it comes to that internal working. But I think that what's happening here is you're just kind of going for it, and it's just it's happening to you so that you learn to reframe your mind and you know that you have the potential to do it, and also so that you're careful with your words and what it is that you're speaking over yourself and over your life. But there is a resolution coming for sure. That was in the tarot, and that was your first oracle card that came out with this full moon in Cancer. And even with the growth, I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. I know I didn't stick to that, but I just looked over and that sentence just came to me. Wanting to expand your consciousness and awareness is different from being forced to. So I feel like this is happening to kind of get you into the groove of mastering your own life and kind of putting all those skills and things that you've learned to the test, like this Moon Maiden card said. And it's interesting because the 4 and the 1 goes into the 5. And remember how I was talking about the 4 of Wands energy and how it's a rebuild, and then you go into the 5 of Wands where you're kind of defending it, but you come out with the 6 of Wands victorious. That's what I think this is. You're going to start out in this new beginning with this new tower, this new foundation, this new sense of found freedom and stability. But there will be, like, obviously with the 4 and the 1, it's a 5. So 5 is going to come with some sort of like defending that needs to be done, or not even so much defending, but there's going to be work that comes with newness because it's brand new to you. This isn't to scare you off or anything. It's actually to give you something to look forward to, because all these strengths and skills and talents and this uniqueness about yourself that you have within you, that's instilled and is bottled up and is waiting to come out, that is going to come out, and you're going to prove yourself wrong in so many ways. It's not even funny. Because you have the King of Cups here that ends your reading. Be able to master your emotions. You know how many people can't do that? Like, they're so caught up in it that it kind of stifles them. But I don't see that here. I see a lot of action here and a lot of determination and willpower, and it all ends in you just sitting back and you chilling and you relaxing. But you just got to remember that you have what it takes to get it done, and you remember it at all times, and it'll work out for you. But I do suggest reading the entire, I haven't gotten to Romans, like I said, but I do suggest reading the entire chapter with the Romans 8, not necessarily the you don't gotta read the whole book, but if you don't want to, if you do, then fine. I'm gonna read it. You can read it with me, but not just taking this little part, because I think that what people tend to do is they take scripture and they define it by what, like, you gotta have an understanding of the entire thing in order to know what they're saying, and it's been misconstrued plenty of times, the Bible in itself. So that's if you're interested. I just wanted to throw that out there before I go ahead and close out this reading, because I think I'm all done here. But pile 2, I thank you so much for being here, and I pray that this resonates with you. If it does, please let me know down in the comments. You can like and subscribe if you like. And if you would like a book personal session with me, you can do so over on my website, www.theangelicmuse.com. And yeah, I thank you so much for being here, and I pray you enjoy the rest of your day or your night. Hey, pile 3, last but not least, it is you. So if you chose this citrine crystal here, this is your reading. I'm going to start out with your tarot first, and then I will pull your oracle in a second. So, getting into your tarot, you have the Knight of Swords first. Then you have the Eight of Pentacles. You have the Knight of Pentacles. You have the Sun. And then you have the Page of Swords. All right, so why is this happening with you? So let me start out here with the Knight of Swords. It's interesting because you have 2 swords to end, the beginning and the end of the tarot, which is all about the mental and your thought process and things of that nature. It's interesting how this Knight of Swords is like facing nothing, like it's facing out, while everything else kind of goes this way. But the Knight of Swords is giving me like I don't even want to touch it. Not that I don't want to physically touch it, but it's like you almost don't want to venture out that way. Like you're not even concerning yourself with what's going on. I know that sounds so weird, but I'm going to get into it. So 8 of Pentacles, this typically is about like mastery of something, and like being able, like perfecting and just being hardworking and diligent at this one thing. However, it's giving me the vibe of redundancy in this reading. Like just same shit, different day. Same shit, different day. And then it just turns into this Knight of Pentacles here, who, granted, Knight of Pentacles is a very careful and meticulous knight, the only one standing still out of all the other knights. So it just gives me, again, like safe. It's giving me safe feelings. Like you just kind of are a safe person. Not to say there's anything wrong with being safe, but the Knight of Swords here and the Knight of Pentacles are right, and the Eight of Pentacles is right in between the two. And it's almost like you're Eight of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles, but you won't even try to, like your imagination won't allow you to go venture into this new thing because you're so safe and secure. This sounds so crazy. It's just what's coming to me though. But then you have the Sun card. The Sun card is your major arcana, the only major arcana you have in the in your tarot, and that one is about just embracing the or exposing the the inner you, the qualities within you that shine, the inner child in you that would be so happy, so fulfilled, and so proud. It's like you're proud. It's you don't have you have a lot to be proud and grateful for. However, it just doesn't feel like it's enough for you. It's like you want more, but you don't know necessarily how to get it because you're so used to being safe. That's just what I'm picking up. And then your page of swords ended. It's like you almost feel like you want to stay here because if you were to start to think of other things or other possibilities and or do other things and take action on it, you'd feel like a page and experienced in it. And it's almost like, again, I don't want to touch it. I don't even want to go near it because what if I fail? What if I can't do it? So I'm just going to stick to what I know, continue doing that, play the safe zone. It's going to get me to it's not that I'm not proud of myself. You have all these great qualities. You know how to take something and actually dedicate yourself to that thing. You know how to take something. You know how to self-master. You know how to, you feel like you know yourself, and you do. It's not that you don't. It's just that there are so many other parts of yourself that are waiting to be found. You know yourself to a certain extent is what I'm getting here. And that's no shot at you or anything like that, because but as we grow and we learn and we develop, we change every day. Life changes every day. It's an ever moving, constantly moving thing. So, one day you could want this and the next day you could want that. However, it seems like no matter what it is that you desire or you feel like you need in this life, you just stick to safety. Yeah, these are two very interesting, and it's crazy because Pentacles is earth energy, which is more feminine and receptive, whereas Knights is more masculine. I mean, not Knights, Swords is more masculine, and it's more like take charge, and not only that, he has his mask on because he's so safe, whereas he's like, I don't give a goddamn what's going on. I'm going. He like, I don't care about none of that shit. So it's like you have two different sides of you maybe pulling away at you. And the more adventurous and risky side of you is calling you, but you're so used to doing the same things that you feel safe. And you like, I know it. I'm such a master at this. I don't want to branch out and do that new thing because what if it doesn't work out for you? But what if it does? Because this Page of Swords did not come up in reverse. And regardless of if it's a page or not, he's very ready to go. Page of Swords is like, granted, it's not the king, it's not the knight, but he's still optimistic. He's still willing to learn. And I mean, he may have room for growth, but who doesn't? You know what I mean? It's not like you are, it's not like you're going for the impossible. This is definitely something that's possible for you. And another thing that's interesting to me is that though this Knight of Pentacles is, you're proud of yourself, they're both facing this sun. So it's almost like, which way are you going to go with this? So it's like, again, like two different sides of you, or two different, even if this is two different avenues, two different careers, two different, anything. I don't want to say relationships or people, but I mean, even if it is in dating, in terms of dating, maybe you're used to going after the same type of person, but maybe it always gets you the same results. you know. And it's like the inside of you, maybe your intuition is asking you, what is it that you really, 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 really desire? Are you, we only live once. As far as we know, we only live once. And it's like, what are you going to do with this life? Are you going to take charge of it and take the risk, or are you just going to keep playing small? And though the Knight of Pentacles, like I said, and the Eight of Pentacles, they're not necessarily negative cards to have. There's nothing wrong with that, but there does come a point in time where you have to ask yourself, if I want more, I want more, am I going to go get it or not? You know? And I think this is happening for you so that you can actually take the risk. And by no means am I telling anyone what to do here. However, I will say that staying stuck is never beneficial to anyone. The stuck in itself is not, it's not beneficial. It doesn't, there's no room for growth. Comfortable is nice and all. Yeah, we know it. But how it only gets us but so far in life. And not only that, but it's almost like, again, I said, receptive energy. You're waiting for something to happen for you. You're waiting for someone to say, oh, hey, so the Eight of Pentacles, he's sitting there just working quietly, waiting for something to happen, waiting for the perfection to happen. And it's almost like it's not going to happen because you deserve more, or you desire more, or you require more from this life. You know, you're destined for more. And yeah, that's just what I'm getting from your tarot cards here. And I think that if you were to take the risk here, like I said, it's interesting that the Knight of Pentacles has his mask on because he's so cautious and safe, but the Knight of Swords doesn't. But the Page of Swords, he doesn't even have anything on his face. None of the pages do. But he's still, the page goes to the Knight, and he's still very much like, I'm taking this risk and I'm going all in with it. So whether you continue to stay in your energy of the Pentacle energy or not, or you actually take the risk and go for the Swords energy, or the more risky energy, or the more like adventurous. I'll say adventurous because risky sounds negative to some people, and I know how some people get. It's like a risk doesn't have to be bad. Like, shoot, zip lining is a risk. Getting in a car to drive somewhere can be considered a risk for some people because, you know, there's car accidents. Anything could be considered a risk. So when I say that, I don't even mean it in a way where it's like, it's make or break. I don't mean it like that. I think that, I feel like what the card is saying is either way you're going to be good. But if you go for the risk, if you take the risk, you may end up a lot better than you think you will. Because, you know, in your safe mind, you're so limited, and there's such a vast and huge and expansive world out here. And that's what this Sun card is saying. Even though it seems to be focusing on your inner child and like, or the little you, maybe there were certain risks that you took when you were younger and you got in trouble for them, or like you, maybe people put things in your head that make you think like all you can ever be is this safe person, but you're content with it. It's not like you're not proud of yourself. It's just that you desire more. And yeah, I feel like what this is happening because you've reached a crossroads of some sort, or not even maybe necessarily a crossroads, because this could be something again that you put in the back of your mind, or it just keeps coming up to you, like, and you're just ignoring it. It's like I said, this felt like I don't want to go near it. Like, I just want to leave that one alone. That's gonna go that way. We just gonna keep on coasting. That's just what this feels like. But let me get into your oracle to see if I can get some more insight on it. So for your first card, you got emotions are running high. Super moon. Got the super moon. The other two piles were full moons. You got the super moon. And then you have Will of the Wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. When you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. Exactly. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Exactly. Then you have humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Mr. or Mrs. Eight of Pentacles. And then I pulled a scripture for y'all, in case you're interested in that. And this one's Proverbs 18:24. It says, "One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother." Okay, so I gotta go ahead and dig into that one. I'm gonna do that in a minute, but I'm going to go over here to this Moonology Oracle. It says emotions are running high, super moon. Again, I think this is something that's pulling on you, and the Knight of Swords energy may just do that to someone who is so safe. Like the thoughts of whatever it is that you're asking about could make you feel like on edge a bit, like kind of erratic in a sense. Like, why is this even coming to me? But it's coming to you because someone's calling out for it. Like maybe you're higher, like the higher version of you, the version of you that knows, like, I want more. I desire more. I deserve it. Like I've been working so hard. I can take this risk knowing that like I've mastered all of these. Like I know what to do here already. This is done. This is done, and it's time to move on to something new, something fresh. And then you got the supermoon. So I'm gonna read that one out the book. That one is on page. I just passed it. 110, and it says, "This card suggests that the answer to whatever you're asking is writ large like the silvery full moon set against the velvety night sky. If you're wondering how successful something is going to be, such as a job or relationship, the answer is very." Oh my God. To use common parlance, the answer to your question may well be that it's under your nose. This card is about being larger than life, being special, and bursting with energy that you can tune into and work with. You can expect plenty of good things and a positive outcome when this card comes up, but you may find that there's a lot of emotion to deal with too. There's also a sense that the opportunities around whatever you're asking about don't come along every day, so take action. Then the teaching says a supermoon is a new or full moon that takes place when the moon is at its very closest point to Earth during its monthly orbit, an event known as a perigee. Perigee? If it's a full moon, the moon appears around 14% bigger at this time. The moon is known as the queen of emotions. And if you draw the supermoon card, regardless of when you do this, you can expect your feelings to be more highly charged. So yeah, it's going back to what I was saying. First of all, like I say, I don't tell nobody what to do when it comes to these cards, and these cards don't tell you what to do. It's just basing it off the energy, the current energy and circumstances wherein you are at the time of the reading. But based off of where you are right now and how well you're doing, no matter which way you go with this, granted, playing it safe, you're going to get safe. You're going to get well, but you're going to get safe. It'll do good. But going the other way, I mean, it's almost like it's knocking on the door, but you're not answering. It's right, like I said, right under your nose, or maybe it's like tapping on your shoulder, like, "Hey, I'm still here." Like, you got this idea, or it keeps coming to you, or whatever the case may be. But it says there, it'll go very well. And I'm reading from the card. It will too. It will come with some trial and error, as with anything, as with that Eight of Pentacles energy. He didn't just do 8 Pentacles for no reason. Like, he had to do that over and over and over again until he mastered it. So you, in your situation, you may very well have to like master a new thing, but you have all of the capabilities and the requirements to be able to do that. You truly do. And then with this Will of the Wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows, that one is the number is 62. That's another 8 card. Going back to what I was saying, 8, self-mastery. Like, it's about, and 8 is like infinity too. So whatever this is that you're asking about, it has the potential to be long lasting, and it has the potential to benefit you in ways that you're not even like seeing. It says treasures hidden in the shadows. Shadows, you can't really if it's really dark, you can't really get the full picture of what's going on. And if you're kind of looking at things from like a I don't know why minor perspective is coming to my mind, or like a smaller perspective, then you really won't necessarily have the ability to see the full benefit of it, because you're so stuck on like maybe what could go wrong, or how much you don't know. But let me read that one out of the book. And it says 62, it says, treasure hidden in the shadows, the great mystery, epiphany. Epiphany. It says, Will-o'-the-wisp hovers in her luminescent glory above the twilight moors of your life, whispering for you to step into the fog, into the mystery, the unknown. You may have been visited by her before, but though intrigued, you refused her invitation. No, why would you do that? It's like, no, I'm just playing. It would be safer, you decided, to remain on the journey you know. While you always have a choice as to whether to follow her or not, you never know when you might encounter her again. In this sense, turning away has its own consequences. Why is the known so appealing? It's only when you wake up to its restrictions, its soft prison, or golden cage that you realize there must be more. Will-o'-the-wisp has come to you once again to offer you magic, but you will have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuit of adventure, your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery, your well-trodden path for the detours that may very well lead you astray. Or will they? Can you accept that losing yourself will bring you closer to your true self? The profound shift of an epiphany can occur only when you risk the detour and enter the unknown. Now's the time to trust higher forces to lead you into this place. These worlds... Oh, shoot, I skipped the line, sorry. These worlds hidden at the threshold between what was and what can be. Here's where you will learn about your own unmaking to unmask yourself. Love what you discover, dark or light, see it all as divine, and find a quiet, thrumming power waiting for you to channel it into the world for good. The treasure you find, filled with the wealth of love and kindness, true prosperity, is ripe to share with others. She is here for you now. Will you accept her invitation? A great bounty of goodness awaits you. That just, no, I knew I wasn't. I was reading these. I'm like, why does this give me like, I'm just going to play it safe. Because with the Eight of Pentacles, it's all about like mastering something. And it's typically, I'm not saying this is a negative thing that's going on right now, but it is more of a stifling type energy with that Eight of Pentacles and that Knight of Pentacles. It feels like, I'm used to this. Let me just go ahead and do like that. Whereas this feels like something so like fast and adventurous and like quick. Like you don't even see it coming, and it's just so much going on that you're like, oh no, this might overwhelm me. But the thing is, it won't. There's so much life in that decision. There's so much life in going that route. There's not to say you don't have it, and I'm not in no way like I'm not about to continue to say like, because I pray that you understand this is not like a beating up type situation. I'm not saying like you're a boring ass person, but I am saying that the situation and the circumstances that you are surrounded by now are a bit stifling, and they are hindering you from going where that's not nudging or tapping on you for any reason, like no reason at all. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it says, when you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. Like, what is the worst that can happen? What, you don't know something? Okay, well, you can learn it. Why? Because you already know how to learn something. You've already mastered other things. You can master this too. And when you do master it, you're going to be so amazing at it. It's going to blow your own mind. You're going to blow your own mind. And then even like I said, with that sun card there, that's all about exposing and like just embracing like there's probably so many qualities within you that you've had since you were a child that you may have forgotten about, that they're going to be so expansive, so explosive, and you're going to take on like this newfound you. Like it's going to be like a new you. And then you have humor and failure both side by side for your lessons. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life, and I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Sometimes we have to laugh at our mistakes. Sometimes we have to laugh at the fact that, like, yo, I really did that. You know how many times I have to do that? Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was embarrassing in the moment, but you know what? Why would I do that? You know what I mean? And you kind of move past it because we all do embarrassing shit. We all mess up. We all make mistakes. We are all flawed. We're all human. Like, and no one person is better than the next. So when it comes to like going for the goal, when it comes in terms of your life and your life's decisions, you kind of can't factor in other people. You can't factor in what happened or what may happen. You gotta stay present. You gotta just, like I said, laugh at it. Failure, a mistake is not a failure, because you always have the opportunity to get up and do it again. As long as you're breathing, as long as you're able, and you have the same capabilities that you did at the time, you can still try over. And if you don't have the same capabilities, that means just try it over in a new, different kind of way. But there's nobody stopping you but you at all. Like, there's nobody stopping you but you. And then with your you have Proverbs 18:24. I do suggest, like I told the other pod, I do suggest reading the entire scripture, not just this one part, because it can become misconstrued at times. But it says, one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. I do feel like this is about, particularly, maybe watching the, I'm not going to put the scripture in the words, you got to read it for yourself, but it may be saying something similar to just being particular about the company that you keep, and just being more discerning in who it is that you have around you, because they could be playing a part in influencing how it is that you feel about yourself. I'm going to double check that though, just to be sure, because you're not going to have me, not you, but this card ain't about to have me quoting the Bible in a way that doesn't make sense. A man that has friends must shew himself friendly, and there's a friend that sticketh closer to a brother. It is a friend in need is a friend indeed. The meaning is that being willing to meet another person's need is a sign of true friendship. False and shallow companions don't act like friends at all when a relationship might cost them something. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, I do think this is all about watching the company you keep. So whether this is people around you that keep you stifled in this energy, or it's yourself, because you have to be a friend to yourself first. And God places people in our life for a reason. Sometimes it's a lesson, sometimes it's to keep them around, but every time it's a blessing, whether it's a lesson or not. And this is all about being discerning of who it is, again, what's around us, and who it is that's inside of us as well. How do you talk to yourself? How do you allow other people to talk to you? And what messages and what rules are you living by? Whose rules are you living by? This isn't a time to like factor in like the don't think too much about this one. I'm not saying don't think at all. Definitely, weigh the pros and cons of everything and every decision that you make. But when something is talking to you, something is calling at you. Say, for example, you got a hating ass friend that's telling you like, no, you can't do that. That's not your friend. That's not your friend, because friends don't, especially if it's coming from a hurtful or like hateful type place. Like, girl, if you don't get the fuck out of here, I'm sorry. Like, that would be me. Like, not trying to be rude, but girl, you're not, or boy, whatever the case may be. Like, just be mindful of that. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because I don't want to curse too much, because I just read a scripture. But anyway, I think, like I said, I think this is just happening to you, so you can it's nudging at you, because it's something that you're desiring. It's something that is there to potentially fulfill you if you say yes to it, for sure. But Pal 3, this is all I have for you, and I pray it resonates with you. If it does, please let me know down in the comments. You can like and subscribe as well. If you'd like to book a personal session with me, you can do so over at my website, www.theangelicmuse.com. And my links will be down below if you'd like to connect with me over there. But I thank you so much for being here, and I pray you enjoy the rest of your day or night.